back to Mums in Melanin. My name is Iola.
I'm Debbie.
I'm Takoni.
And I'm Takumbo.
And today we are talking about managing finances as mothers or parents. So, anyone want to kick us off?
Yeah. It's interesting. And I guess before we kind of go into managing money, obviously right now, like, it's difficult. Like, like austerity comes around every 10 years or whatever. We've got inflation rising, gas prices are rising, heating's rising. So although we're talking about finances, this is for people that are in like a comfortable position. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're grateful that we are employed and we can have these conversations. But we do understand that some people are finding it very tough. So no pressure if you're in those situations. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to kind of bog yourself down or beat yourself up. Like, but we've all been in different stages of life. But let's just talk about finances, I guess, from our standpoint. I just wanted to put that out there. And also, I've got a sore throat. I know you must be wondering, like, why she sounds like Yeah. Sorry guys, baby. But money is such an interesting topic. Because, like, we're constantly, like, using it. Do you know? We're making transactions all day long.
Working for it.
Like, it's so important. But as a child or as a young person, I was never taught about money. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a big part of our lives, but I think the most I got was that a lady should always have a bit of cash in her wallet.
That, and it doesn't grow on trees.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I'm not made of money. I can't turn myself into money. All of that. But I was never really taught, like, how important it is to manage your money. I was taught, like, not to get in debt. But when I was younger and reckless, it even scared me. It's like I wasn't taught enough that it really scared me. But just don't get credit card. Don't get, you know what I mean? But I don't think I was really taught much about money. And I think when you're not taught about money, you end up learning it the hard way. And I feel like that's been the journey of my life. Do you know what I mean? Like, you get all your parking tickets, then you realise, oh my God, like, how am I gonna, do you know what I mean? I'm entry level salary, how can I pay this, pay that? You try and do your budget, but you still want to eat out. Do you know what I mean? You're not really, you want to basically, I think when you're younger, you want to have it all. And you have it all at the expense of, like, your future. But as you get older, you have to realise that you need to start prioritising. Do you know what I mean? And that's when budgeting came in for me. And I'm not gonna lie, budgeting, guys, it changed my life. You know, like, some things are just like, and for some people, they've been budgeting all their lives. So if that's you, well done. Do you know what I mean? Some people, they've had the spreadsheets from early, they were taught, it's just their way of life. But I'm not gonna lie, it gave me freedom. Do you know what I mean? Within a budget, I'm now free. Even if it's £25 to eat out, I know that's my £25. I can eat out and I don't feel guilty about it. Do you know what I mean? It gives you that kind of guilt-free living as long as you don't go over. Do you know what I mean? And you have peace of mind knowing that you're living within your means. Like, you know, they always say, like, job just over broke. Do you know what I mean? And I kind of thought to myself, okay, like, I work, I earn okay salary, like, I'm happy with what I earn, but I always felt like I didn't have enough. Do you know what I mean? And the reason why was because I always was broke, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? And you end up broke because there's no extra. Do you know what I mean? So exactly what you're being paid is what you're spending. Do you know what I mean? Or exactly what you're being paid, you're even spending more than that. So you're constantly in a cycle and you feel broke. It's like, why am I going to work if all my money is disappearing? Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where the saving part comes in. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there's a joy knowing you've got backup money. It's a peace of mind. Like, you know, no one can chat to you. Like, okay, like, even if it's a small tip to £100, no one can chat to me. Worst case, F it, I use my £100, I live my life. Do you know what I mean? It's my money. So, and I know I'm jumping all over the place, but I just feel like as women, it's important to know how to manage your money. 100%. Do you know what I mean? For generations, centuries, women have been looking for men. Do you know what I mean? To provide, to sort out money. And it's great to have a partner to help. But it's also like a sense of pride knowing that you know what you're doing. Do you know what I mean? You're in the driver's seat of your life. It's encouraging to your daughters. Like, it's encouraging for your sons to see you as a woman manage your money. And I just think I don't know, I can't explain it, but my shoulders are high, guys. I swear. My shoulders are high, knowing that, okay, I've got a bit to put away. Okay, I'm earning my money and it's not just disappearing. Okay, even if it's only £100 to enjoy this month, that's my £100 and I can spend it how I want to. Like, I think the control element, it just adds like a, I don't know.
And it's a relief, like.
And it's into it. I'm not gonna lie, like, budgeting. If you don't have one, I would encourage you to get one. Like, and not just like vague, like break it all the way down. Like there's a family on YouTube that I follow, and they talk about like their financial journey. And I started my budgeting. I bought their like spreadsheet, and the first advice they sort of gave was track your spending for a month. And that was the beginning. That one blew my mind.
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, I don't spend money on nothing. Like,
but then all your money's going. Your salary comes in, it's disappearing, and you can't see where it's going. That's why. Makes sense.
Literally every week, we sat down, we filled it in, went for our bank statements, filled it in. At the end of at the end of those 4 weeks, it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Who even knew that food was just food was an empty pit. All my money was ending up in the toilet because it was just food. Like so much of it. Do you know what I mean? And then it's okay, actually, let's budget this much towards food. And as long as we stay within these means, we can still do everything else. So I'm not gonna lie. Having a budget is A1.
I think what you're saying is so key. I think a budget is key, and I think a lot of people, I wasn't necessarily taught about money neither, and I think, when I got to uni, for me, when I got student loan, numbers were high. Life changed. But what I'm wondering as well is, specifically as mothers, do we feel our budgets, even if you had one before you were a mother, or even maybe just started one after becoming a parent, do you think your budget changed? Do you think it had a big impact on your budgeting or not? Do you think it trained you more to kind of spend money wisely? What was that experience like for you, like in terms of motherhood and money specifically, after even just understanding money as an individual? Do you know what I mean?
I think for me, I've never really had a budget per se in the sense of how you have one, and I guess in my teen years, I was reckless. And when I say reckless, I got one Dorothy Perkins store card. I bought one dress one time and I didn't pay the bill. And then somehow it escalated to like 200 and something pound. But 200 and something pound as an 18-year-old is a lot of money. And obviously, what do I know about it? They offered it to me. I said, yeah, I was 18. I could sign for it myself. Do you know what I mean? But there was no conversation beforehand about, oh, don't take credit card, don't take store card. Like, I can buy a free dress. I just used the card. What? I went to the club. I enjoyed it. They told me to come and pay. Why? Catch me if you can. But, like, so they're sending letters, but what does that mean to me? The threats of, oh, well, no, we're going to send to CCJ, it doesn't mean anything. It's only by God's grace. Honestly, I don't know how I've never had any CCJs or anything like that because I didn't pay that till this day. If I didn't pay it, but when I became a mum, obviously now you have responsibilities and you can't just spend. So where you just spend before, like if I felt upset, let me go shopping and buy something for myself. Now I have a child. Yeah, I had a child, so her needs came before mine. So I would have to make sure I had money to get her milk or to buy her clothes. And then she started nursery. Okay, fine. I was getting support, but I still had to make up the difference because I went back to work. So do you know, I had to learn very fast, and I'd moved in by myself. Bearing in mind, I'm still like, 19, 20? I didn't know anything about managing finances, managing a household, having a baby, so I had to learn on my feet. Do you know what I'm saying? So it was difficult. You it's like you make certain sacrifices and you move with it, and you make errors and you learn from it. That's pretty much how it went for me. And as time went on, I made small mistakes and I recovered. I made big mistakes and I recovered. But I guess the ultimately for me, it was the fact that through everything I learned. I had to, like you said, you had to learn the hard way, but either way I learned, isn't it? And now knowing, I think I prefer the fact that I've actually had to go through it, and maybe that's just me. I like to learn I like to see it firsthand to know that actually, let's not do it this way. So I can teach my children, this is how you do it. I've been through this. This is what happened to me. So let me save you having to go through it and tell you to do the right way to do it. And I wish I had, obviously I have older siblings, but the conversation is not really one that you have. Do you understand? And my mum, she come from Nigeria, where I can't imagine that it was just something that she'll think about. It's just about, I need to provide, I need to feed my children, etc., etc. They're not thinking about the long term. I feel no fault of their own. It's a cash.
They don't do credit.
And credit now, jeez. If literally, if I knew then what I know now, life would have been so different. So different. But you go with what you have, isn't it? And you make the most of what's been given to you.
Yeah.
And it's just like in hindsight, isn't it? They say like hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think it's important to educate, and I really do feel like that's what as good as our country is in terms of like education and providing things for our children, they missed the mark in actually educating our children on money management. I don't know if it's something that will change in the future, and I hope it does. But as parents, it's our responsibility to do that for our children.
That's what I was going to say.
That's where we need to step up and say, like, actually, because the world, I think I saw a post on Instagram, I can't remember who it was. He was saying that what he teaches his children is never use your own money. A debit card, what's that for? Use a credit card. Spend their money. Because you're spending their money, and then you just you pay it back as and when you can. But in spending their money, you're bettering your credit, right? You spend the money and you pay it back, your credit utilization goes up. Therefore, you're more you're more of like a worthy lender to people, like when you want to go for a mortgage, because they can see, okay, you spend money, you pay it back on time. That's benefiting you. Having a debit card, you put your money into the account, you spend your money, and you get nothing from it. Do you know what I mean?
Someone can only benefit from that kind of advice when they understand money.
Yes.
This is it.
Because it's so funny.
But
how the same advice could make one person, thrive, and another person down.
Yeah, true.
But this is it now. So this is where I'm saying, like, the education of our young, like, from early.
Yeah.
How much do you have? Okay. Put some into your savings.
100%.
You can spend some on buy some sweets or whatever what you want to buy. Put some in savings. You put to save. You see Kiana, she's got plenty money. I'll be looking. Oh, you have money there. Don't worry, I'm coming. Mommy needs new shoe. Don't worry. But yes, like, actually save your money. If you like things like when Kiana was like 7, I got her Go Henry account. So it's like it's a normal bank account, but for kids, so you can do like it has an app. And you'll be like, wash the dishes or clean their room. So essentially, you're getting paid to do tasks, right?
Cool.
So so she had that, and I would pay her like £2.50 a week, and she'll do the dishes and try to hoover the living room, and then weekly she gets paid, and then she could put some into savings, and then she can have some on her main account, and it comes with a card, everything, like really good, right? And then she started getting a bit older. So when she was like 13. And she asked for an increase in her money. So I took any opportunity for a learning opportunity. I'm going to take it and run with it. She said, oh yeah, I want an increase. I said, oh, okay, that's fine. No problem. You need to make a presentation. So she had to do a presentation, and we interviewed her. You on the panel, Abby? You went on the call?
That is too cute.
I had a panel, so she had to go through a 2-stage interview. So she had the first one with like me, her dad, her uncle, who is a business analyst, and another uncle who's a lawyer, like, and then there was the next round with other like godparents and family relatives. But I was very much like, this is serious, like, ask questions that you would ask in a formal setting. She needs to learn. So she put a presentation together on PowerPoint. She, sold herself. She asked for the increase. I love that. And then we gave her feedback. We discussed it, whether or not she deserved the raise. And I felt like, obviously, like, she thrived, isn't it? She loved it. She wanted to be like, oh yeah, this is my time to shine. But for me, it's a learning opportunity, because nothing in this world is for free. You want more money, yeah, you can get that, but you need to what you bring to the table. Like, it has to be like for like, and there's something like nobody gives without receiving. As sad as that sounds, but that's the reality of the world. And I'm trying to set that foundation for them as young as possible,
100%.
because you're gonna step out into this world. And you're going to ask somebody for something, and they'll tell you yes, but then they'll also say to you, what are you going to give me in return? Do you know what I'm saying? So you need to be able to say with your big chest, okay, I bring X, Y, and Z to the table. So I know I deserve X, Y, and Z. Do you know what I mean? So like, I find it very important to teach our children from young the value of money. Money it's not monopoly money. And I always feel like when we go on holiday, or when I go on holiday, because it's not my currency, I just be doing you good. 500 dirhams. You can take that, man. But actually, no, it's real.
Add on to that. In Dubai, just in January, I was eating in this place called Ula.
Ooh la la.
And it had some like grilled prawns, and it was like a light little bite. Guys, I was enjoying it. Then I just thought, let me just Let me just see how much this is in pounds, guys. I couldn't believe it.
How much was it?
The prawns didn't even fill me out. It was £40 for three prawns.
£40.
£40.
So you're the one that recommended me to go to the restaurant. She didn't even tell me the story. She said, "Oh, this really nice. Don't take photos."
No, wait. You said
Is
you
it
asked me
not
where I
good?
went. You asked me where I went.
Yeah, but you
Tell
never
the
told
truth.
me.
Yeah, because you wanted to know where I went to be your bougie baby, innit? You want to be bougie baby as well. The thing is, like, Dubai generally is expensive. If you're going to Dubai, you have to go kind of prepared to spend a lot of money.
Yeah.
The dirham doesn't, it sounds like just, because everything's kind of hundreds and fifties and all the rest, it doesn't sound like that much, particularly if you're used to maybe Africa that have 1,000, 12,000, 1,000 £2.50 or whatever it is. You know what I mean? So you have to really, you have to understand that it's good to transfer the money and understand the equivalent in pounds.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you're right. Like when you're on holiday, I think maybe the escapism, you're not working, you're on this kind of relaxed vibe.
Yeah.
Live your best life.
Yeah.
You want to live your best life. And you just forget. I remember those prawns, I literally said to myself, if I knew, I would have eaten it so slowly. I would have chewed it bit by bit. I might have saved some for midnight snack. Just because I just didn't know.
Three prawns.
Like, on a normal day, for this free, they weren't even like gigantic
Jumbo.
prawns like that. Do you know what I mean? But anyways.
Nah,
But
David,
yeah,
you
honestly.
really dropped some gems just now because I'm literally taking notes. Like, guys,
yeah,
take
I love
note
that.
because
Honestly,
I love
it's
that.
Any opportunity,
literally.
because money is the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Money
It's
makes
so
this
long.
I guess,
world
do
go
you know
round.
what? Do you know what it is? What's difficult is the fact that you, like you said, we don't get taught how to spend money, how to use a credit card. They'll tell you don't get a credit card, but really, is don't get a credit card the solution?
You know what it is,
Is that the
Is that the solution?
But you know
I
what
mean,
it is?
maybe you need to
Don't
get a credit card, but you need to
cards.
manage.
This is it.
This is
It's
even
even with debt.
right.
Because obviously, and I guess it's not knowing how to manage money. So getting a credit card, no, big red X, because you get yourself into debt.
Debt.
But actually, no, if you spend within your means,
Right.
you won't get
And you
yourself
pay-
into debt.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, use it.
Exactly.
If it's only for shopping, go and do your shopping. When you get paid at the end of the month, pay the money back. It's very simple. Spend what you can afford and then pay that back. And you will actually benefit more from that than actually just having a bank account, letting your wages go into the account, using your wages to pay for everything. And then if one direct debit you've forgotten now will take you into overdraft, they're now coming to tell you that you have charged that you need to pay £6 for the month. All they're doing is holding your money for you. And you're not getting anything from it. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So yeah.
I was watching something. Basically, they were like, apply for credit when you don't need it.
Yeah.
Because not when you're, obviously,
That's when you're more likely to control it.
Control it. Yeah.
obviously when you're desperate, it's not the time to run around to get a credit card or to get overdrafts.
Yeah.
But actually, when you don't need it, this is if you're good with money, though. Do you know what I mean? But get the overdraft, have it there. It adds to your credit utilization. It adds to your credit score. Do you know what I mean?
And I think another thing, sorry to add to that, is that we need to know ourselves.
Yeah.
Some of us just love to spend.
Yeah. Honestly,
Rush.
that's a nice little gloss. You just buy it for no reason.
Yeah.
Like some of us are, some people are addicted to this type of stuff. Spending can be very addictive, very impulsive, and you need to know yourself. Like if you know you're a person that really loves shopping, or you can't help yourself when you see things in the shops or online or whatever, know what to do with your credit, like with your credit card and how you're even spending. Like you have to look at your own money at the end of the day. You can't be looking at the credit card said, oh, plenty money is no. You actually have to be smart.
You see what works for you.
100%.
There's even some people, I think like Dave Ramsey advised it, you get paid, obviously you pay your bills, take them out in cash, put it into little envelopes, and that's your money for each thing you want. Your nail money, that's it there. Your clothes money. Because some people need
when
to
you
see
have
it.
cash,
Some people need to see
you're
it.
more careful with how you spend it. If you have 50 £10
it's
notes,
true.
5 £10 notes in an envelope, and you see your £10 are going, you'll think twice about that last £10. How do I want to spend it? But this chip and pin
But
society,
this tapping.
tapping.
It's not
Even now, I
real.
use the phone. Pew.
It's not real.
Tapping
That's
is proper
You don't
terrible.
even feel
You
it.
can't see it. You can't
That's
feel
why
it.
if you do have a budget, you need to reconcile. Sit down weekly
Always
and make
review.
sure that it's joining with what you wrote on the because if it's not joining, then
I 100% agree with that. 100% agree with that. I also think about this is just a bit of a tangent, but like when you just have a child, some people encourage. I know one guy specifically said to me, by the way, when you have your son, try and breastfeed for as long as you can because formula is very expensive. And trust me, they go through it so quickly, you're going to end up buying. Let's be honest, a lot of people go on maternity leave, yeah? So when you're on maternity leave, not everyone gets like 6 months full pay. Some people 4 weeks, some people it's less.
I got 4 weeks.
If you're a contractor, for example, maybe it's nothing. I don't know. It depends on your working. Do you know what I mean? Do you guys feel like finances change significantly for you in terms of being a mother and the expenses that come with that?
Oh, of
Do you know what?
Wow, shadow of doubt.
100%. But I feel like now that I have number 3, I now feel it. Me and my husband were literally saying this the other day, like, wow, I'm actually feeling the food, the everything just going out. Maybe, yeah, well, of course.
100%.
Of course.
Of course, makes sense. More mouths equals more money.
But then with Azra and Sienna, I don't feel that. I don't know if it's just the third child made a big difference.
When you had 2, were you
Do you know what? I wasn't.
Really?
I wasn't really. Like,
do you think now that you've had your third, you need to budget more?
Yes. So this is me. So previously made mistakes, this and that, credit card. You know, they'll be offering it to you from the minute you go to university.
Yeah.
Oh, student loan, not student loan. What's the overdraft? £1,000.
Yeah. No, they don't. There's no charges, no nothing. Just
At 18, you're spending.
I lived in Topshop. Does anyone remember when Topshop was a real store? What?
I miss Selfridge.
Spending. So I made my mistakes along the way, but I didn't start strictly budgeting. I was just kind of like watching it a bit, but I've never really like I'm learning. Today I'm taking note, as in with the spreadsheets and stuff like that. Something I've introduced maybe in the last 2 years in my life. Whereas before I wasn't doing that. I was just living
in between the two.
100%, because now I can see it. Now I'm looking at it. Now I can see the money. I can see where it's going. I can feel it. Yeah. So, you know, and it's clearer. I can see what I'm doing. Yeah. Budgeting, like you're saying, like it's so important. It's important to be able to look at your money. But what I can say is it's scary initially.
Yes.
So that's what put me off. Because I don't want to see it.
Yeah. And now it's like you know, like when you could just go out, oh, you're going, I'm coming. Or you're going, this one, you have to be like, oh, I'm not sure. Sometimes I didn't want to be able to say I'm not coming somewhere because of money. Like, for me, it was just like, I work. Yeah. Why can't I enjoy myself? Yeah. But then I had to now look and just be like, okay, there's something called financial responsibility, and I have to be okay with being responsible and okay with saying, do you know what, actually, I'm gonna sit this one out.
Yeah.
Because you'll enjoy it later.
Yeah.
You'll enjoy it later.
For me, what was scary was just seeing the numbers on, like, just literally said, like you're saying, food.
Food is a bad one though.
Me, I'm a shopper. Me, I like clothes. I like shoes. Seeing that, it was painful, and that I think maybe before looking at it, I knew that when I see it, I'm not gonna be happy. I'm gonna be stressed. Yeah. But that's what kind of shifted the change. Yeah. That's what encouraged the change.
I think also when you add to expenses, things that you have to add. So for example, nursery. Nursery is pretty expensive generally. Like,
pretty. Let's change that. Nursery is expensive. Capital letters.
It's true. That's what they told me last night.
Are you sure you can afford it, babe?
It's true, it's very expensive, and so it changes your whole budget. Yeah. So the amount that you used to have for your self-care, your beauty, your this, you're having to now rejig.
That's why you'll be looking anyhow, they'll be asking you questions. That's
expensive. A lot of people forgot about that.
Yeah. Once upon a time, it's true.
That money you'll be using it.
Big chunk. And for some people, it's not even worth it when they work and all their money's going to nursery. It's just like, what's the point? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Because essentially you're working to pay nursery. It's a big chunk of your salary. Do you know what I mean? And before you start getting the 30 hours free and all the rest of it, it's like a good 1,000 something a month on a monthly basis. So even that forces you to kind of, again, reduce how much you do your nails. Reduce, you know, whether or not
start learning how to do your own hair.
Exactly. This is it. And being more creative, it forces you.
You end up getting locks. Do it yourself. I do it myself, babe.
You start doing your
own hair.
Sorry, she said you start doing your own hair.
I wanted locks, and I researched, and I'm like, wow. £400, £300 for locks.
Exactly.
I said, let me go on YouTube
and learn.
And
it's funny because before you had kids, before you had all the responsibility you had today, you might have been like, it's alright, I'll do it. Yeah, maybe I'll just space out how I do it.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know the kind
you just close your eyes.
The length of my weave, 30
Hey.
Najami. Story time.
What happened to you?
She was in uni. I'm not gonna lie, she was giving bad B.
No, I'm not surprised.
Guys, like, you know, like lubes, multiple.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is uni, you know.
Yeah.
This is uni.
I told you that. Listen, overdraft, use.
And that's another thing. You can't envy anybody. Do you know what I mean?
Because
You don't know. You don't know.
what
That's
credit
it.
cards
This
they've
is
maxed out.
This
to
is
live
it.
One
like
thing
that.
I wouldn't do. Credit card share
Yeah.
was something that was drilled in my head from early, and I didn't have the understanding of credit because of your mortgage one day. I didn't have any of that. It was just more. It was almost like, I don't know if any of you guys got this, but when you're in school, they say if a boy touch you, you're pregnant. It was that kind of, you touch credit card, you're finished. That was a simple equation.
That's it. Pregnant.
That's it. Also, if they touch your hand like this,
Your pastor will be out of this.
That's it. So for me, credit cards was a complete no-no. But overdraft, I'm not being charged. My parents ain't even gonna see it. The letter comes to my uni. What? Who's gonna know
That
about
overdraft got rinsed.
What?
I never had one.
Did you not overdraft?
Guys,
I never had one.
I had one that I abused so much that when my next student loan
I
came,
don't know how you did that. I would just get to
they took it. No, they took it and then closed it. They closed it.
That store card, I can't.
It was the best thing because they weren't gonna get the money.
What happened?
That's how
saying
we
that.
missed it.
Sorry, we're talking about. I was saying that with my overdraft, how I paid it back. Well, I misused it. And they were like, okay, cool, we're taking our money back. So when my student loan came in, my £3,000 whatever, they just took the whole and closed it. They didn't close that account, but they cancelled the overdraft. Yeah.
Because they realised that.
So when that student loan money came, I was like, I'm a gradless.
Wow.
They weren't going to get the money any other way. I was abusing it.
But in some ways, it's probably good that they did that. Because,
Yes.
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
For some people at that stage,
100%.
it was a bigger problem.
But what if, obviously, as I'm talking about student loan and stuff, but as an adult, if you can't pay that back, like...
Exactly.
Exactly. Like, look at all the shows on
Madness.
TV. All the payday loan madness, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Can't pay, we'll take it away. No, that's my favourite.
That show's scary.
But
when I watch it,
it's real. That's the
Real
real life.
life.
It's real life.
You've still got children to feed. You've got them to
life,
clothe.
actually.
They're going on a trip next week. Sometimes I do feel for us parents, you know, because sometimes like a trip comes or a child wants to shoot and you want to be able to deliver everything.
Yeah.
But the truth is, and not at every given time, can you always like, do you know what I mean? There are parents and there's situations where it's just like, do you know what, this trip to France is stretching me.
But that's where teaching them that the value of money and that the hard work that goes behind getting this money is really important.
And even planning with them. So,
100%.
this month we'll pay for this trip and then next month we'll look at this. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And even with the younger ones, okay, today you can't get anything from the shop, but let's do your spellings. If you get all of them right, then you get a reward. Incentive, exactly.
Learning
because you know,
it's real life.
it's real life, and they're gonna have to learn at some point. So it's better that it comes from you and that it's instilled in their brain early. So going forward, they have an idea and they can build on that. Because look now, what we teach them now, in 20 years' time, things would have changed drastically. So they may have to relearn things, but at least if they have a solid foundation of what is right, what is wrong, what to do, what not to do, they can move forward with that, as opposed to like how I was just being lost in the sauce, swiveling around, looking at all the things happening in the world.
One thing, so when I was younger, obviously my mom would be like, we can't afford it. I don't want to say that to my kid.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But
I don't want you to think there's any scarcity. We've made a choice. We're empowered. We've made a choice to put the money towards this and that. You know what I mean?
And I feel like for me as a mum, it's made me drive even more that if my salary is 5, it needs to be 15. If it's 15,
so that they can have
5. Because I want to be able to, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to spoil my child and give you absolutely everything. But I want to know that it's within my means. And I do feel like it drives you more in terms of what's okay or what you find is an okay salary. Do you know what I mean? Because
they're higher.
They're going up. So as they're going up, you have to kind of match up with, do you know what I mean? And just the life you want to live, this life is once. I'm a mum, but I'm also just me. And I want to be able to enjoy my life.
Why is she shaking her shoulder?
She had lubes.
She said nobody's gonna take my loops, B.
But it's true. Like, I want to be able to live my life. One thing I see is I go to work 5 days a week. I need to make sure that as I'm sweating for you, I can also see the benefit of my sweat.
100%.
I need to be able to say, I work hard for my money.
Preach on, calm down. We know.
Because it starts to get to you.
Yeah.
I like to think, I'm working, Where's the money?
Exactly.
How can I be working and still feeling like I'm broke?
Exactly.
Like,
That's the worst
something's
feeling.
not adding up. Like, something's not adding up.
Yeah, 1000%, man.
I get that.
It's crazy. I think
It's tough.
it is important that like, we teach our children finances. It's
100%.
important we understand. We understand how to manage money. And if you don't understand, then find someone. Instagram's quite good. I think there's a lot of different people talking about finances.
But that's another thing.
On free shows.
Another thing, sorry, just to add on, is that talking about finances is something that people don't do.
It's taboo in this country.
It's taboo.
How much
Even to tell you how much I earn, it's like, why are you asking how much I earn?
What's your business?
I don't know.
People,
I think we've been taught to think it's private. Though.
Yeah, but is it though? You know what? It's an
do you
individual
know what? I guess-
choice. Some people are more free when they're talking about things. Like me personally, if I'm comfortable with you, then if we're talking, babes, I can tell you like, if today I have money to do, tomorrow I don't, I'm gonna tell you, today we are rich. Let me tell you one, babes. Tomorrow, look, hey, remember yesterday? It's your turn. But that's, do you know what I mean? Because you never know. One conversation can change your life.
Yeah.
One conversation can change your life. But when you're doing what's your business? Why? You've closed the door that you never knew that would lead you somewhere. Do you know what I'm saying? But I feel like as a country, as a nation, talking about, it's very hush hush. Oh, we don't ask about people's money.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
how much they earn.
Okay, fine. I don't understand where that comes from, but okay, fine. Each to their own, isn't it? Yeah. But when the door is closed, the door is closed.
I guess maybe because it's just so broad that people just don't want to be judged. It's like, is
that what you make? Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah.
But then it leads to people being underpaid because you don't know the person next to you.
And to be fair,
double what you're earning to the same job.
It's true.
So,
but if you talk, it is an eye opener in some ways when you realise that, hold on, if I just leave this one company and go elsewhere for the same things I have, I could be making 10k more or whatever.
Yeah.
So it can be an eye opener.
And I've worked with colleagues that we're on the same level and you're earning less than me, and I'm like, hold on, why?
Yeah.
Being able to negotiate your pay
It's a big thing.
is huge.
But people are scared to
do
ask
it.
for
That's
more.
That's it.
And I feel like that comes from not knowing what you are worth and what you can bring to the table.
And that's why I like
and
the
also
also about Kiana.
Yes.
Because what you're teaching her is
show your
what I
worth.
bring deserves more money.
Right.
We weren't taught like that.
And
so
being able to even say
telling
it.
you they're giving you X amount, you just feel like
fine.
You just feel like you're doing me a favour.
Oh, thank you.
And they never are, because don't forget it's a business transaction.
You're giving something.
They know they're getting the best part of the deal.
Yeah.
Otherwise, why would you do it? So.
Yeah, 1000%.
Oh yeah, about negotiations. So I know for me, asking for money is it's very awkward in any setting. Like if you owe me money, if I need, it's very awkward. So even though I know that going into a business transaction, like you put it, it's important to like actually you're worth a certain amount. There's no harm in asking, and even I really enjoy watching The Apprentice, and I take a lot of notes from watching it. I love it, and how they negotiate and all of that when they're trying to get the sales and etc. And I always think to myself, actually, because what's the worst that can happen? Like I guess the fear is always I don't want to seem like I'm being too greedy or too forward, and then they take back their offer.
But that's the reason. That's the reason why you research and see how much are people earning, what average, what other actually look into it and research.
It's to ask as well.
Yeah. Society though to research what is out there. Like it's just not. Think about your jobs when you came out fresh out of uni and stuff. I wasn't thinking the average for a paralegal is. So I'm gonna go with. For me, it's please just give me a job because overdraft is overdrafting. That's true. I can't do my nails. I can't do this. My mates have jobs. I'm gonna get a job. Do you know what I mean?
But you get to a stage where actually I need more money now.
And sometimes exactly. And I think I don't know if it's motherhood that really made me really kind of drive. Okay, this is what I want to be. I'm not entirely sure. But I think there comes a stage where you're just like, no, like this money, like you said, it's not enough. And even after you budget, you still think. I work hard enough to have more of a budget in this area. But
I always say to myself, well, there's someone that works the same hours I work and they're getting more than me.
This is it.
So, do you know what I mean? What is it?
This is it.
It's a job though, no?
There's someone that works same job that
same
hours. I'm sure. There's always going to be someone.
People give it private.
This is what it is. This is what it is.
There may be another company somewhere, do you know what I mean? Or they may be working less hours, it may be easier. You don't know.
Yeah, literally, I was having a conversation with one of my colleagues, and I was just like, "No, why are you earning? You should be, like, hold on, let's look at this properly." And like,
that's so good,
some companies mug people.
Oh, 100%. If they can, they will.
Yeah, 1,000%.
It's benefiting them. Why wouldn't
Exactly.
they? Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. Exactly.
No.
All right, guys.
No, I was gonna say.
Continue. Sorry.
Because I was gonna say I've worked in places like you manage a team, you see everybody's salary, and it's different.
Scattered.
It's scattered.
But why is it like
there's
this?
at least 10k difference between top to
Because
bottom.
every company works to their own benefit. If you ain't gonna push for it, I'm gonna save my money.
If you
It's
don't
that
ask,
simple. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Guys, you hear that?
If you don't ask, you don't
If
get.
you don't ask, you don't get. That is the take home from this topic.
1,000%.
If you don't ask, you don't get.
It's true.
And there's no harm in asking.
Yeah, no.
Worst case, they say no.
Yeah,
And believe in your source. If they say no, someone else is going to say yes. Do you know what I mean? I think you have to have that confidence. You have to have that boldness. Particularly if you know that whatever you're earning is just not quite cutting it for your responsibilities. Don't be scared to push the boat out. Like, you've got a skill of some sort. You've got something to bring to the table. There is a need and you can fill it. If you know you can fill it, push it as best you possibly can. Well, guys, we hope you've enjoyed that. That's us today from Mums and Melanin.
Thank you. Bye.